Hi everyone, this is William from the Headphone Experience. I'm here tonight with my full review of the Core Power Technologies Equi-Core 600 power conditioner. This was loaned to me by Underwood Hi-Fi for review, and I've had this unit about 5 months now. And I have to be honest, I kind of put off my full review because I really didn't want to send it back, and I knew I would have to do that when I finished up. And so I've kind of put it off because I'm really enjoying having this in my system. I also have the Equi-Core 1800, and the combination really does make a difference. So anyway, my apologies to Underwood Hi-Fi, and I appreciate them for being so patient with me. Something else I wanted to mention has been brought to my attention recently, that there are just too many ads running in my videos, and I thought they were running about every 5 minutes, but apparently they're running about every 3 minutes, and that's just too much. So I've been setting my videos to an automatic setting where YouTube chooses and places the ads, and I have no choice over what type of ads are running, but I believe I can do a manual override and place less ads in my video, and I'm going to try to do that from here on out, so you don't have to put up with so many ad breaks. Every 3 minutes is just too much for anybody. Anyway, back to my review of the Core Power Technologies Equi-Core 600. This unit is sold through Underwood Hi-Fi. It currently retails at $1,295. But I believe it is still available at the intro price of $799. This is a balanced line conditioner that removes up to 20 decibels of what Underwood Hi-Fi calls common mode noise. I'm using this unit in combination with the Equi-Core the Equi-Core 1800, which is sort of a preconditioner. So my review tonight is going to be the two in combination. You can see the two in the picture behind me. The Equi-Core is made to remove EMI, RFI, and DC voltage from the line, and then the Equi-Core, which is the subject of my review tonight, is plugged into the Equi-Core, which is the way I'm using it. I did do a full review of the Equi-Core a couple months ago, and a first impressions of the two combined about 5 months ago now. So you can go back and watch those if you want more information about that equipment. The equipment I've tested using this is my CD transport, which is a Cambridge Audio 540C, which I use as a transport only. My benchmark DAC 1, I've used the topping E30 DAC plugged into this, my Audio GD Master 9, which is pretty much my reference amp, which I compare to others to. I've also tried this with the Burson Playmate 2 headphone amp DAC combination that I got in a couple weeks ago, and I've used it pretty extensively with the Felix Audio Echo, which is an OTL type tube amp. I did want to show you this unit, and please bear with me because it is quite heavy. This unit goes about 20 pounds and actually feels heavier than that, but it might be because of the small size. It seems heavy for its size, but this thing is very substantial. Measures in at about 8 by 8 inches square. It's about 5 1/4 inches tall, and you can see on the back here that you've got 4 power outlets, and also you've got your power in and an on-off switch and a breaker switch on the back. Anyway, I'm going to set this down before I drop it because it does not belong to me. Anyway, before I go any further into this, I did want to mention that also, besides from being a power conditioner, that this and the Equi-Core 800 do offer surge protection. So does help protect your equipment. Anyway, I wanted to talk about my power supply a little bit before I got into this, because I watched a video by another reviewer a short time ago, and what he was basically saying is you don't need a power conditioner, that you can get by without one by having a dedicated circuit for your audio equipment. And I do somewhat agree with that, because I did that a long time ago. First of all, my house is on its own transformer. I live out in the country, and there's one transformer on the pole and one line running out of it, and it goes to my house. So I am not sharing my transformer with any other houses, apartments, businesses, nothing like that. I am the only one running on that transformer. Then also, all my audio equipment is in my master bedroom, and I did run a dedicated circuit, which would be a 20 amp circuit, to the audio equipment, so it is all isolated from anything else. It's on its own circuit. But that being said, that still doesn't solve all the problems. I'm sure that does cut down on a lot of background noise and interference that could be in my electric line. But what I have noticed, and even though these are on a separate circuit, I have a lighting circuit in the same room, which is a separate 15 amp circuit. And on that lighting circuit are some track lights on the ceiling. There's about 9 LED track lights, and they are hooked up through a dimmer switch. And there's also a ceiling fan, and there's some halogen lights on the headboard of my bed. And what I've noticed in the past, and I'm already using power conditioners. I was using both the Monster Power Supply HTS 5100, which was about a $700 unit, and the Monster Power HDP 2500, which I believe was about a $400 unit. And I've got a lot of equipment hooked up, so I've been using the two of those. Okay, what I've noticed, even through the Monster Power Supplies, when I'm using the ceiling fan, the track lights, whatever, I'm picking up background noises in my power. Anything from hums to a slight static to just sort of a grungy sound. Basically, the track lights, there's a dimmer switch, and as soon as I turn those on, I pick up a slight hum and a little bit of hiss in the background, and the brighter I turn the lights up, the louder it gets. And this is even through the Monster Power Supplies. Okay, the ceiling fan, whenever that's on, I pick up a slight hum. When I put it on a higher speed, the hum becomes a little louder. If I switch speeds or turn the fan on or off, while listening to headphones or speakers, whatever, I can hear a pop in the background. Also, I've got some halogen lights, and they definitely do create a hum in the background. And like I said, these are on a separate 15 amp circuit, separate completely from the circuit that my audio equipment is on. And I'm using the Monster Power Supplies, but I'm still getting these background noises. So what I've had to do before having these units is anytime I did any critical listening, whether it be to an amp, a headphone, or whatever, I had to make sure the track lights were off, I had to make sure the ceiling fan was off, and I had to make sure these halogen lights were off. They all caused interference, and it was anything from a hum to a buzz to just kind of a grungy sound, and it just took away from my listening enjoyment. So Underwood sent me these units, the two. They came in separate boxes a few days apart, and I've been using these for 5 months now. And what has happened is I can pretty much not worry about what is running while I'm doing even a critical review. I can listen with the lights on, with the ceiling fan on, with any of that, and I can barely hear them. Basically, The Equi-Core 1800 removes about 50% of the background noise, basically cuts the level to 50%, and the combination of the Equi-Core and the Equi-Core cuts the background noise by about 90%, where I can barely hear these background noises. And there's times that I'll be listening and look up and realize that the track lights were on that I always noticed in the background before that I don't anymore. So another thing is my primary amp is the Audio GD Master 9. And until these came along, even with the Monster power supplies, my amp gave off a steady hum. It wasn't through the outputs. I couldn't hear the hum in my headphones, but I could hear the unit sitting there on the shelf just giving off a quiet hum. And it was loud enough that when sitting near it wearing open back headphones, I could actually hear that hum. And I couldn't ever figure out why it was humming. And using the Equi-Core 1800 and the Equi-Core 600, it's completely removed that hum. My amp makes no more noise. Something else I did want to mention is that the 600, the number 600 is significant. That means that this is made for systems up to 600 watts. So for a small speaker system or a headphone system, this is going to be plenty of power. They do make a larger, I think it's the Equi-Core 1800 and even the Equi-Core 2400 for large systems if you need that kind of power handling. So basically what this unit is doing is it's giving me blacker backgrounds. It's because of the blacker backgrounds, I am hearing more micro details, and it creates an effect where when I'm sitting in the dark, I'm listening to my headphones, and I just feel like I'm floating in space, just surrounded by blackness and nothing around me. And like I said before, to get that effect, I had to make sure everything around in the room, whatever, the lights, the fan, everything was off so I didn't pick up any interference. Now it doesn't really matter. So it just gives me that feeling of floating in empty space, and which also creates more depth to the music. So bottom line is I really hate to send this back. I've had these two units for about 5 months now and gotten used to, you know, not having to worry about what is on in the house, what can cause interference and all that. I'm going to have to go back to being real careful, make sure the track lights are off, make sure the ceiling fan is off, make sure, you know, the halogen lights are off, all that. And I'm going to have to probably go back to that annoying hum. Like I said, it's not loud, but it's just enough to bother me a little bit coming from my Master 9 amp. I'm not sure. I'm assuming the noise is actually coming from a transformer, maybe some DC voltage in the line. I'm not sure. It's not audible. It doesn't come through the amp or through the output at all, but it's been nice not, you know, hearing that low hum coming from my amp. So yeah, I'll get used to not having them, but to be honest, you know, it's been really nice. It's been 5 months of you know, really being able to enjoy listening to my music with that really black background. So yeah, I do recommend them. That, you know, like I said, they're a little bit expensive, but you've got to pay for quality equipment. So guess I'm going to wrap this up now. Once again, this is William from the Headphone Experience. If this video has helped you, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'd like to see you all over at the Headphone Experience on Facebook. We're up to about 9,700 members. Once again, thanks for watching my video.